Morning. It's Micro Adventure Monday. Well, I should say evening, because it will be 6 o'clock on a Monday by the time you watch this. How are you doing? Something different today. More than just a walk, it's been as an adventure over the last 24 hours. Because I have done something I have never done before. I've slept. I've camped overnight in a van. I've never been camping. I never thought I would, but I thought, you know what? Let's have a go. Let's have an adventure. So I'm here at the Keswick Camping and Caravanning Club, and I've got to say I'm impressed. Would I buy a camper van? No, I couldn't afford the upkeep. Would I rent one like I've done again? Yes. Yes, I would. Based on the experience of one night, fair enough. It's not a long time to tell, is it? But I enjoyed it. So I'm not going to talk massively about that because there's way better channels on YouTube that talk about camping and caravanning, and it's not really the reason that I'm here. The reason I'm here is to do a couple of good walks. So I'm going to start off today by climbing my very first Wainwright, and I'm not going to turn into a Wainwright bagger. Just let me get my handkerchief. Apologies. But I'm going to give it a go, and I'm going to start with cat bells, or cat bells, or however the emphasis is, I'm not sure. I'm going to walk it from here through Keswick round to cat bells. Now you can get a launch, and hikers can get an early launch, and you can buy tickets at the campsite, but you know what, now I'm going to walk it. So let's see how we get on. I've got a route mapped using Garmin Connect this time, and I'll check in with you when we've made a little bit of progress. How beautiful. Gorgeous. There's a pencil museum in Keswick, home of Cumberland pencils. And if you're familiar with the Derwent brand of pencils, I guess that's how it's all connected. And I swear to God, I'm going to go to the pencil museum, because people in my house laugh at me when I say I bet it's interesting and that I like the smell of a pencil case. But I think that's quite normal. So we're heading through to Portinscale now. I'm going to go across quite a long stretch of public footpath. The last time I came this way, it was muddy as hell. It was January, it wasn't pleasant, so I'm hoping to have drier feet by the time I get to the other end of this section, which is quite a boring walk. I'm not going to film a lot of it because there's not a lot to see. If you walk round Derwent Water as a walk, which is a really lovely circular, about 10 miles I think it is. Obviously depending on which way around you do it. This is pretty much the start or end, adjacent to Keswick. I started from the theatre on the lake last time. The parking's a bit rich, but it's pretty much unavoidable. But the parking's worth it because you get such a lovely walk out of it, so I don't really see a big deal about that. And it's next to Hope Park as well, which is a lovely little spot, especially if you've got children. They've got like pitch and putt, miniature golf, you know, the traditional stuff we all remember when we were kids. Just look at this, I know it's a boring piece of path, but look at that. What a fabulous 360. Lost articles of clothing this time to add to our slippers is a pair of bluey underpants. I'm guessing child size. Lucky. Bye. Bunny. Whee! In fact, Catbells is the home of Mrs. Tiggywinkle. So we've reached Portinscale. We are here. You can see it's part of the coast to coast cycle route. Obviously the Cumbria Way, as we talked about. Lots and lots of little cottages for rent round here. Little apartments to rent. Really very pretty. And not a long walk into town really. In a second we are going to take a bit of a left towards the Nickel End Marine and the launches. Morning. And then we'll be much closer to Derwent Water because you don't see a lot of Derwent Water from the start of this walk. You're pretty much out of sight of it. It's a bit more residential, a bit more town centre. So if you're going to do the Derwent Water Circular, maybe start here, because we came round the other way and the last bit was a bit of a trudge because you didn't have any views to pay off, if that makes sense. But either way around it will be beautiful, and it is. So we've just come up through that steep little section of woods, and I think what's going to happen, we're going to drop down back onto the path around Derwent Water. I'm guessing that, but it seems to make sense. It's levelling out now after quite a steep and actually quite slippy climb. I mean, you can see how muddy it gets after a little bit of weather. So, and this, we've not had rain for, well, I got home on Saturday from, I'm sorry, it's sniff or blow or wipe or whatever. I know I'm not alone. I've seen a load of old folk doing it this morning, you know, like me. So we've not had a lot of rain, but as you can appreciate, this is under canopy as well, so it probably doesn't get a lot of sun. But it's very pretty, very pretty. And it's coming down now. look, the other side of that little climb. I have a feeling it just potentially, and we'll soon find out what way, bypasses that marine, because it's a boatyard. Heavens above. Beautiful. Ice cream hut is now open, and it's open until 4:30. But how beautiful. Gorgeous. Yeah. And there's your car park. So that could be the hotel car park. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know whether you can pay and display. Yeah, it looks like it's the hotel to the car park, but here we are. This path takes us about another quarter of a mile, maybe third of a mile, and then I think we take a right turn. Now, is that right turn the start of our climb up to Campbells? I have no idea. I know that from the route Portinscale to Campbell. Once we're through this gate, we cross over like a meadow, and there's a path. And as I mentioned before, I did this last time in January and it was soggy, and getting across this path, there were all sorts of little obstacles to let you get across, but I'm going to be honest with you, it was tricky. Thankfully it's a little bit drier today, but look, that's where we're going. Can you see? Can you see the zigzag? There's people on there already. Some coming down, some going up. But is it excitement or trepidation? Oh, I don't think we need to unlatch that, do you? Probably seen some proper wear and tear. Look at that, it's popular. It's busy. Maybe it's going to thin out up top. Who knows? But this is how popular it is, and this is not what wasn't here in January when it was freezing. The Lake District stop. Looks lovely. Where are you going?
I don't know. Keswick, yeah.
Oh right, just carry on along there. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
It's all right. This looks nice. Crepes, ice cream, hot drinks, cold drinks. All right. And muddy sheep. Look at that one there, his black scraggly coat. Oh. Oh. Fancy having your feet muddy all day. Ugh. There is a tiny bit of car park, but there's not a lot at all. I think you'd be lucky to get a spot. There is a bus though. Let's have a look which bus comes up here. There you go. The 77A and the 77. I think it runs year through. That's good to know, isn't it? If you get too tired, get the bus back to town. Oh wow, Look at that. We've only just started and look at that. How gorgeous. Stunning. Gorgeous day. Just right. Oh, are you ready for this? Oh, God. Gonna have to take my hat off. It's windy. Oh, that's absolutely stunning. A word used once too often. Just goes to show you, you can't tell what it's going to be like until you get up here. You can see my house from there. This is a steep bit. And again, when I tell you at the top, why this is a beginner walk, you'll laugh. No wonder Mrs. Tiggywinkle got a wash and dry, is it? Thomas Arthur Leonard, founder of the cooperative and communal holidays, father of the open air movement. I knew there was a plaque here. The best things any mortal have are those which every mortal shares. He endeavoured to promote joy in widest commonality spread. Nice. I bet you're getting some right shots of my face. Hey, it's alright coming up. What about getting down? It's that little leg syndrome again. There you go. I think that was the Scramble. It was surely interesting. Still got a ways to go. It's like a Disney queue. That's like a little false summit. Right, it's lovely to be out of that wind. So if you Google what Wainwright said, key highlights. Alfred Wainwright affectionately described cat bells as a family fell. and one of his great favourites. In his pictorial guides he praised its shapely form, superb views and accessible nature, making it possible for all ages. He specifically noted its smooth, sunny and sleek slopes overlooking. So, superb views. He described the views as having scenes of great beauty. Well, I can't argue with that. In depth to a degree not usual from the summit. Campbell's was praised for its superb position overlooking Derwent Water, often described as having a shapely top knot that attracts the eye. It does. I swear I'm getting a wet bottom. The jets are over. I don't think you can see them. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, wow. Just the sound is absolutely amazing. I mean, I know the horrible killing machines, but it never fails to impress me. Where were we? While easy enough for beginners, he noted it offers a steep but obvious simple scramble. It depends how long your legs are on that one. He considered it a must-visit fell with nothing but beauty to be found, and I absolutely can't argue with that one. Or is that Lake Borrowdale? Sorry. Squirrel brain. Now this is the funniest description by Alfred Wainwright. Let's have a look. Wainwright famously noted it is a place where grandmothers and infants can climb the heights together. It is so windy. It's almost, you can feel it pulling the camera, it's that windy. With just the odd little respite. Oh, it's lovely out that wind. Really nice. Peaceful. Here it comes again. I've looked out with the weather, I think. Could you imagine it on a rainy and windy day? I'm daft enough to still do it, but I feel honoured to have got a decent day, I really do, because it does make a difference. Still smiling. This time last week, I was in Norway, and I did a few walks, and took some film, and I'm probably going to start editing those a little bit later. But when I got home on Saturday, I was catching up on some YouTube, and one of my favourite creators was on. Shout out to Trails of the Unexpected, and he does walks, but he talks about folklore and local myths and legends and stuff like that. Really good, check it out. However, somebody had put in his comments, well, you know, the UK's not comparable with some of the rest of the world, some of the walks in the rest of the world, and the scenery and the mountains and all that. And that's like comparing apples and oranges. Because yes, Norway, absolutely stunning, beautiful, breathtaking. I love it. But, you know, look at this. So you can say what you want about the UK not being comparable to like the Grand Canyon and Norway, both places that I've been to, but it absolutely holds its own when it comes to amazing scenery and amazing views and some very accessible free walks and hikes. Not something you can say about some parts of the world. It's cheeky. Thank you. I can see the trick. Are we ready, guys? I can see the trig. Done it. Wow. Done it. First Wainwright bagged. I don't know what to say, really. I mean, what can you say? You got to drink it in now. You can't hog the trig. Let's get a good shot. 360. And then think about how we're going to get home. Probably have a drink. Might have my butties. What time we're on? That guy kept his trainers white anyway. Kudos. If you look down there, we're pretty much at the top of Derwent Water as we see it now from this elevation. But look up there into the valley. If you've been round Derwent Water before, you'll know down this little bit, I think pretty near the top of Derwent Water, there's a little garage, like a shed, and it's got a little teddy in the window. It's called Teddy in the Window because somebody lost it and they put it up in the window, and people send cards and postcards from all over the world for Teddy in the Window. It's super sweet. Look at the shadows on the mountains. Right, which way are we going down? Carry straight on, and then I'm going to drop down. I think you can just see the path there at the bottom. Because I don't fancy coming down that scramble with people coming up that scramble. So I've just been speaking to a couple of ladies who had the same idea, and that's what we're going to do. First of all, we have to get down off this bit, so I might have to put you away. We'll see. Tell you what, it's cold in that wind. Trying to make an executive decision on the best way to go. It's not easy. That way. There you go. That's better. Oh, that's better. Right, let me turn you around. You can see the way we're going. Let me just make sure I don't fall. One sec. There we go. Oh, it's cold on the hands. Should have got my gloves out. There you go. We're leaving Cat Bells now, and I believe if you carry on, you see that ridge line across the top, or that path just below it, that takes you over to Maiden Moor. But not today. Let's stay in our lane today, because we've done well. We've done well. Yeah, here we go. Here's the turn in the path. Now I'm guessing, because of the side that we're on, that this is going to be pretty windy. So let's see. Either way, if you were going down the other way, it'd still be windy, so it's not something you can avoid. So that's all the way down Derwent Water. There's the little launch. There's the head of Derwent Water, where you need your waders sometimes. Oh, that's nice. I didn't film that last little bit because it was like steps and it was really busy. I didn't want to intimidate anybody or be intimidated myself. So we're on the way down now. I don't know what's around this corner, but the steps have gone. It seems less scrambly. coming up this way, but I've not been around this corner yet, so I don't know what there is. Nice. Oh, look at that. Sun's coming out. And that wind's dropped. It was absolutely brutal. That wind up at the top. Yeah, not fun. This way to the lake shore. Oh, that's the first time it's felt really quiet, actually. Just that little bit there. Quiet. Oh, what a relief to be out of that wind. There's a little signpost coming up now. Let's see where we can go from there. Because this part of the route, this back end of the route, I hadn't plotted. I had a quick look on Garmin Connect whilst I was having my butties. And having spoken to those two ladies who I passed on the way down, it seemed we were correct in the assumption that carry on, turn left brings you back down without having to go the way that you came and scramble back down. Because that's, I mean, if you like it, do it. But I guess it gives us a little bit of variation. And we are at the top of Derwent Water now. So Grange is 1 mile and 2/3. Catbell Summit via Horsegate is 1 mile. And the terrace path for the lake is 3/4 mile or 25 minutes to the Horse End Jetty, which is 1 3/4 miles apparently. So yeah, let's do a left and see if we can pick that little ferry up. So I've just finished my dinner at this lovely bench with an amazing view, and then when I turned around I saw a plaque and it says, it's very difficult to read, to the memory of Sir Hugh Walpole CBE of Brackenburn, this seat is erected by his friend Harold Cheevers, September 1941. So thanks Harold, and thanks Hugh for your seat. That was most welcome. Onwards. Oh, wow. Look how clear that water is. There's a little bird up there. That moss is really unusual. It's like black. Or it's like it's where it's died off, or like a Dalmatian. Look at that with that lovely lime green. I love colours. Ah, look, there's another path there. I think cross over the road, the main road, and then drop down that path. And it looks like it takes us down to the shores of Derwent Water. Yeah, to the lake. High Brandlehowe Jetty, 1/4 mile or 10 minutes. Ooh. I'm making all person noises. I will be later. The sun's on that gorse now. Whoop! I tell you what, that path's cheeky. It doesn't look much of anything, but it's cheeky, it's steep. How gorgeous. Beautiful. Golden colour in the sunshine. Stunning. Oh, that word again. Let's find a different word. Majestic. Majestic. at the bottom of this little bit, we should be meeting up with the path that takes us to the jetty. I'm guessing that, as you know, I do like a guess. Ah yeah, through this gate, and you can see the shoreline now. So I'd imagine if you, yeah, I can see, if you came round Derwent Water circular, chances are you would be coming up from the bottom of here. You just meet this little bit. Oh. That's got all the makings of a Hayes outdoors gate latch. He had one of those on this week's video, and he must have stood rubbing it for a good few minutes. It's very difficult. It says please close gate. There we go, that's as good as that gets because it's twisted. You know, I did the Tolkien Trail the other week, and I'll put a link to that video. And I always think that the Lake District as well must have had a big influence on Tolkien when he came to imagining all the different areas in his books, because these trees, look at them. I know he had a big thing for trees. My husband told me that. You can tell that trees were important. Yeah, this is the High Brandle Howe Jetty, so let's wait here. That's a lovely way to see Derwent Water. So I asked a chap before how old that particular launch was, and that was built in the 60s. He said it's fairly young. The one next to it, Lady Derwent Water, is from the 1920s. So what a ton of heritage. Oh, oh, mummy. Oh, oh. Buy duck food there for 50p a bag. I think what I like about this place is it's so evocative of being a kid. Oh, look at that cottage. Time hasn't changed a holiday here. Or a day out with your mum and dad. And your granny and granddad bringing a picnic. It still feels like totally acceptable to do that. You can spend money, of course you can, quite easily. And it is a tourist trap, I guess, but it still feels like the old days. I like that. Shall we walk through the park? Back into town. Oh, gorgeous. It could be the 1950s or the 1970s. Gorgeous. That. It's one of those places that makes you want to cry. Or is that just a me thing? They're lovely. Proper family day out. The prices to pay. Crazy golf. And 50s and 70s. How cute is this? That's our walk, guys. What a fabulous micro adventure Monday. Really enjoyed that. I hope you did. Remember, like, if you did like, subscribe, leave a comment. It really does help my little channel that's picked up some reasonable views but less likes. You know, let's face it, I'm not here to be Mr. Beast, just here to have fun and take a few people with me along the way. I'll leave the route I took from the Keswick or Derwentwater Camping and Caravanning Club site through to Catbells, and then from Catbells down to the launch, and then I've just walked, really. I've not walked through the town centre at Keswick.
Not having no children, I'm still going through that.
So I thought I'd finish by treating myself. I said before, didn't I? Watch this super shot now. I'm going to go to the Pencil Museum because I can. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next Micro Adventure Mondays, and I'm going to sign out now. So thanks for joining me, and see you next week.